So today on the slides, first of all, we have Michael and we have Ganesh. And Ganesh, who is based in India. Ganesh, would like to give an intro?
Hi, my name is Ganesh. Thanks for having me here. I'm the MD CEO of the Mutual Fund Utilities, which is a fintech platform, the very unique platform in India, which offers all the asset management schemes for both investors and also for advisors. So we have a suite of features. So we offer both. So my job is to kind of ensure that adoption rate in India and the penetration in India, considering the vast of this country, is to kind of ensure this technology platform evolve over the period of time, make standard process across asset management companies, and ensure technology helps that to reach to the common man where they can start investing in mutual funds.
So diving into the first question, I mean, Ganesh, in India, how do you see it? I think as we were talking before the panel started, investment, and I think in India, it's a kind of a newer business, investing in different mutual funds. And how do you see it from your side?
No, I think the last 2, 3 years, I think there is a huge surge of a lot of technology-based wealth decisions, or you call it as a wealth-based advice. So there are a lot of talks. If you actually look at a lot of robo advisory, which you will hear in India. Certainly, it's not really matured to that level, but still people have started looking at how to convert the data, use artificial intelligence, use blockchain, provide some robotic advisory. Okay, but what interestingly, if you just, you'll be surprised to hear, in the last 2, 3 years, the number of fintech technology platforms, okay, particularly the app based, there are close to 450 apps which got emerged in just 18 months, okay, 18 to 24 months in India. And all these guys offer asset class across, the digital gold, mortgage, loan against your securities, mutual funds, whatnot. Okay. So they offer everything. Even Amazon, who actually started as an e-commerce in India, has now ventured into I think they merged, or they just took a joint venture with one of the firm in India, in Bangalore, which is Vasant's firm. So it's quite interesting to see, a lot of these kind of coming up. But even regulator per se have given license to some of the fintechs like Zerodha, for example, as an asset management company. So which is quite unique in India, right? So in asset management company in India, it's always those big guys who actually do a traditional way of doing a mutual fund business, right? But now the regulator is also very keen and given license to those guys who are technology driven. So I think we are seeing a lot of turnaround, a lot of data is available. But I don't know about the other countries, but in India, data is huge. There's a lot of data, but still the data is not converted into a meaningful representation of investment. People talk about you talk to millennials. In fact, Ted, I was reading one article where it said in the last year, particularly in the pandemic, India's investor base has increased by around 200%, and out of which at most 40% are millennials, so which means people aged between 20 to 30 or 25 to 35 are investing more into financial services, okay, particularly the platforms, using the platforms. It's a huge jump in particularly a country like India. So we are quite excited to see where it's going to transform into. But yeah, the data has not been used and got into a robo advisory. I think so the next 3 to 5 years is going to be extremely exciting in India, because we see a lot of this robo advisory coming in. So as of now, I would say it's probably in a very early stage, but the future looks extremely bright.
But it leads us on to the next question that we have. And maybe Ganesh, what's your thoughts on this? Because what are the examples? Like for example, you say in India, Amazon or Paytm are into it, and these guys have data, right? They genuinely what's stopping us being more personalized in financial advice?
No, I think it's definitely the option what these guys want to have, right? But in India, wealth side personalization is still not there. We are not even 5% of. I can just put it on record. We are not even 5% on what because today, as you told Ted, due to the COVID situation, everyone has a device, okay, and all these devices are connected to internet, so they have access. They have time now. I think this is the right time for us also to go into the hyper personalization of data and get them. I'll tell you a very interesting example. Just last month, I did one program for one of the biggest bank, okay, for the employees. It's an MNC bank. For the employees, they wanted to know about mutual fund. There were around 100 people. There was a young lady who, in a question and answer, so she came up and asked me, can I invest, say, $1,000 per month? And after a year, can I buy a gadget? Okay, so the gadget cost probably Apple 15 or Apple 20, whatever you call, right? So I told her about that's too ambitious. Okay, so I given her my example, saying that no, today. So she was saying that no, it's so convenient, Ganesh, that no, I'm just traveling. I can just do a investment through using the grows or ATMs. It's so easy. I said I do agree. The convenience has made. So initially, when I started my mutual fund investment way back 20 years before, so I used to write a paper, go to the office, and then give it. Today, things have changed. It's more of convenient for people. They want to start. But what she interestingly told me that is, her dad used to buy an insurance product, a very traditional plain vanilla insurance product. She doesn't want to get into those insurance products. She wants to buy a very attractive wealth management product. So she loves mutual fund. She says, no, I like that name. She doesn't even understand how the mutual fund works, but she says, I want to invest. And some of those apps which show some chatbot and people this popping up, there's a lot of information which comes in. She says, with that, I can able to take a decision. But she's confused that saving $1,000 for 6 months, whether she will be able to buy probably a red Ferrari. Okay. So I told her that doesn't work that way, right? So what I then understood myself is was no, even if you're going to give a hyper personalization like what Mike told, somebody sitting on my shoulder or next to me, I think somewhere the awareness also need to be there from a wealth management point of view. So what's really you're investing in and what you are heading towards. So we are still not there, but there is a huge scope. Things are improving, but the great good news, I think for all of us, and particularly people in India, like you, Ned, the data is available so much. Okay, it's how you're going to use that data and make a meaningful representation is something which is there. So no, as per the government records, it says every Indian who has a mobile downloads at least 5 to 8 apps on a given day. Right. So they are quite excited. So they download the app, they test it, they uninstall it. So it's keep on happening. So I think this is the right time for next at least a year or so to get into people. And also not only to give the features, I think we need to also make them aware of what they are investing. Then once they understand what it is, I think the stability of using that will increase. So I would say a lot of people kind of use it, uninstall probably doesn't use it. But once they understand the product, where we also need to invest, that's one thing which we are also doing from our company point of view, Ned and Mike, is we're also creating a lot of tutorials, a lot of short videos, because they say the span of attention for a human using mobile phone is not even 30 seconds. Okay. So within 30 seconds, whatever we can give to them, we can give to them. And then we kind of show them, boss, okay, now you understood what it is. Then look at these data and look at these AI and then start investing.
We've already talked a little bit about the future. You said India's just starting. And again, look, I don't want to be pessimistic and market's going to go up and down. That's just a fact, right? That's just a fact of where it is. But how do you see it playing out, particularly for like kind of the personalization in wealth management in India? And in how do you feel about that over the next 5 years?
I think that's going to be the future. I can tell you that in the next 5 years is going to be extremely exciting. When you were talking, Ned, I was thinking if 5 years down the lane, if three of us come together and discuss this, I think we'll have a completely different perception. I would say, I'm very, very, very optimistic about it. And I'll give you another example. So one of the person, so the level of personalization people need. So there are people who write questions saying that, boss, I'm hopping job. So I have a 2 months of notice periods. In that notice period, I may not get money, the salary. So do I need to continue my SIP? Okay. So these questions really, puts into me that level of personalization as Mike told or Ned you told. So we need to really use these data cases to see probably, for someone who is just early stages in the career. Okay. So the questions might be, or the personalization is going to be different. And over the period of time, we also make him. So, for example, a guy who is going to invest, say in his first 5 years in the wealth management using any personalization, he will not be the same guy of the next 5 years. Okay, so the same kind of set of questions is going to be put at him. He's not going to be very happy with this. So I think we also need to evolve the way the people are and their behavior is. That's where I think the personalization, the data is available, right? But how you're going to kind of use that to customize this much better is something. So as I told you, that lady, she told she's not at all interested in doing any plain vanilla old banking investment product or insurance. She wants to do ETF. She doesn't even understand what the ETF is. She understands stock exchange. She finds people making a lot of money. Okay, so she was very enthused, but she wants to make a lot of money. She wants to buy this. She wants to buy that. But somewhere, that perseverance or the patience, or when the market goes down. So the other thing which I was thinking is, somewhere I feel it's our responsibility also when we do the personalization. We also need to show them the darker side. So in case this happens, see, if you look at in India, so we have this one line: mutual funds are subject to market risk. Okay, please read the offer document. That's the only line where we give a warning to the investor. Okay, but over the period of time, we never give them some worst case scenarios of market crashes. What happens? Okay, some scenarios. So they were never ready for the worst scenario. As a human, we want everything to be good. Okay, well and good, but life doesn't work that way, right? But are we also in frequent intervals tell them, boss, if you're going to lose your money, stay invested. Okay, so like that. No, I think that's also a responsibility. So I think not only kind of giving advisory, but getting into that kind of education, continuous engagement with them, and also to understand how what kind of happenings are in their life. So for example, if somebody has loses a job, so you can probably have a personalization saying that, if I lose a job, should I need to continue? What happens? Okay, what happens for 6 months? I might probably have money for next 6 months. Do I need to continue? So like that, I think we should get into that kind of scenario. There's hundreds of scenarios available, but technology can play a huge role.